Hi folks, my name is Kathleen and this is Kathleen's Trodden Trail, and I'm coming to you today on, let's see, I have a calendar right here. Sunday the 21st of July, and it's been about a month since I was last here. I actually recorded this entire video over an hour's worth last week, and YouTube would not let me upload it. It would upload and then it would error out in the processing. So here I am to try again. Hopefully this will work today. I have no idea. If this doesn't work today, I'm probably not going to have time to do another video. And we leave to go on vacation August 3rd, and we're gone for a few weeks, and so it might be the end of August, and I'll have to figure out another option. I think that I typically record on my iPad, and I think my iPad, and then upload it to my laptop and send it off, and I think my iPad had some updates that my laptop wasn't able to handle. Maybe that's kind of what it seemed like. So I don't know. It seems like I find a good process for doing this, and then things change. Technology changes, and I'm just behind the times. So anyway, I just want to get right to it. I have some FFOs and two FFOs and one fully stitched piece that's not FFO'd, and then some whips, some works in progress. So let's see. So let's start with the FFOs, since they're sitting here and I'm going to have to move them to show you my whips. I just got out of the shower. I worked out this morning, and I did some cleaning, and I kind of trying to go with the curly look. We have to go up. My son moved towns yesterday. He was living kind of in central Nebraska. He moving a little bit further south to live in kind of a bigger city. And so we have to go up later on this afternoon and get he moved from a house to an apartment. And so we have to go up and get the rest of his, yard work, yard tools out of the garage, and bring them back to our barn. So and it's hot today, and I knew that with the humidity and the heat, I knew that if I took the time to blow my hair dry, it would end up looking like this anyway. And so I thought, why not just start it? But I know that looks kind of funky, and anyway, I'm sorry. It's just going to be what it's going to be today. Okay, so let's see. This is I think it's called Safe Harbor by Cathy Haberman. I finished it to put it with my little Lori Mitchell figurines that are kind of beachy in a little vignette that I have. And I like the way this turned out. I think what I want to do, I guess I could just show it to you, and I apologize for the glare. I like the way this turned out. I just added some sort of watery, beachy fabric here to the bottom, and then this very, I think, kind of beachy looking rustic frame. And it's fine. It's still not perfect. I really wanted some rickrack or something across here, and I couldn't find anything that matched kind of both pieces. But I think what I've decided I want to do is take the glass out and add some shells. I have some little tiny shells, and just add some little seashells across the bottom there. And I think that'll help. I think that'll make it look nice. So that's Safe Harbor. Again, Cathy Haberman. Cathy has a whole, I don't know if they're necessarily a series, but a whole bunch of, I look in a different place on my laptop, so I'm confusing myself. Cathy has a whole bunch of different beach-related, ocean-related stitches, small, easy, quick stitches, and they're a lot of fun to do. And then I finished a needle punch that I'm not sure if I ever showed it to you as I was working on it. My needle punch is in a basket and sits in a different part of the room than my cross stitch does. So typically when I'm grabbing cross stitch to show you, I forget to grab needle punch. But This was a piece by Teresa Kogut that came out, I don't know, maybe like a year or two ago at market, and I loved it. Of course, chickens, I had to have it. And I punch with Valdani. I only use Valdani. I love the look of Valdani in punch needle. I love it. It just comes on spools. It's just perfect for needle punch. And I have a a, a good amount of Valdani. There's actually a quilting store here in Omaha that sells Valdani. They sell cross stitch and punch needle as well now, but they sell Valdani and have for forever. And so I can, usually when I go, I grab a few kind of basic colors. Um, and so this is none of the called for. It's just all of my own, kind of my own accord. Um, but I like the way it turned out. You can't hear, and my lighting in here is terrible. I'm upstairs in my sewing room. Um, and my light's not really terrible in my sewing room. I have some great lamps up here, but I turned those on and the glare was it was too terrible. It was awful. So they're turned off right now. But the, you can see her feet and the stems to the flowers in person much better than you can here on camera. And these little bees were kind of, with their little squiggly flying lines, they were a little tedious. Not tedious. They were just a little tricky to punch. But I kind of had a vision for this. This frame is too big. I don't love the frame. A friend gave me 2 glass chickens, one bigger, one smaller. They're not blown glass, but they're like heavy leaded glass, and they're both on long metal legs, long metal legs, and so they're kind of funky. So I needed something, and I wanted to put this with them, and so I needed something that kind of went with those glass chickens. I should have brought them up to show you. Anyway, this frame was the only thing I had that kind of worked with those. But I don't love my finish. I put it on here and then I added the rickrack, and it's okay. I think I want to get a smaller frame and do something a little different with this. But for now, it's fine. And it really does look very cute with those glass chickens. So that's my FFO with needle punch. Needle punch is one of those things that I'll do, pretty regularly for a while, and then I'll kind of get tired of it and put it down and not pick it up again for a while. Sometimes I just forget about it, but and then I'll do it a lot, and then I'll just, anyway, it's just kind of one of those things. So when I finished that and got it FFO'd, I picked up this next needle punch that I'd been working on quite a while. This is, I believe, either a little house or a country cottage punch that came out, I think, at market. I don't know, again, maybe a year or two ago, maybe longer. And I loved it. I think it's just called ABC. I'm really sorry about my dog, and there's very little I can do about her because I'm using a different application to record this, and I don't know how to pause it and stop it and cut and do all of that kind of stuff. Plus, since I'm upstairs, she's very confused why I'm talking to someone and not paying attention to her. I thought she would. I might have to go put her outside the room. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this is a Little House Needleworks piece. And I've had the bee skep and the flowers and the bee done for a long time. And I was struggling with what kind of background I wanted. I tend to like a dark background on my needle punch, and I was kind of running low on my dark Valdani that would be good for the background. I use so much of it with the chicken. And so I thought maybe I could do a light background, and then I realized that I needed to, and these colors are kind of getting washed out a little bit. That's better. I realized I needed to outline the wings if I was going to use a lighter background. And so I did that, and then I started the background, and I don't like it. I don't like that background. It's too splotchy. It's too, and it's too light. I just think it's going to do nothing for I think it's going to do nothing for the skip, nothing for the flowers. So, I'm going to take that out and see if I can find, I don't know, I guess a black. I'm not sure. I need, maybe, see, I'll run into trouble with a green too. But at any rate, I need to find a different color. I guess I could change the letters and I could use this blue. This blue's really pretty. It's sort of a aqua blue. But anyway, it's, once I make that decision, it'll be quick to finish. It's just a matter of, of making the decision. I'm sorry, I'm still looking in the wrong spot. Okay, so that is, punch needle. In the video that I did that was an hour long, that I did, I think I recorded it on Thursday and had been trying all weekend to get it uploaded, and it just wouldn't upload. In that video, I brought up I've been doing some needlepoint, and it's another big chicken, and with two little chicks, on kind of a grid line background. It's really cute. It's very cute. But I showed you that in that other video, but I didn't bring it up here this time around. So, you're not going to get to see that, but I've been working on that some. And, so we are actually going to Ireland and Scotland for our vacation this year. This will be the first trip that Brian and I have taken, big trip, across the ocean trip that we've taken without any of our kids. And so since we did our honeymoon, back, almost 28 years ago now. So we're really excited for it, very much looking forward to it. Very, very excited for Northern Ireland. And then I've heard lovely things about Scotland. And I've been thinking about what I want to take with me to work on. I will stitch on the plane and, probably here and there in the hotel room. I tend to be an early riser. Brian tends to like to sleep a little bit more, so I'll wake up early and stitch. But I think I may just take needlepoint, because the nice thing about needlepoint is I don't need a pattern, and I have 99% of my charts and my patterns are on in PDF form on my iPad, and that's in Notes Pro Plus. That's what I use to keep my charts. And so I'll have my iPad with me, but it's just one more thing. And I don't know. I really think I'm going to take needlepoint with me and do that. And maybe I'll take one small cross stitch chart. The other thing I could take is my daughter has a really close friend, one of her roommates from college, who's pregnant with twins, and so I started 2 Afghans, and so I could take one of those, and that's just crochet and just take one skein of yarn, and if I run out of that skein, that's fine. So I might take, that's kind of where I'm leaning, is a skein of yarn and work on the Afghan, and then one needlepoint project, and that should keep me occupied. Okay, she's gonna step out. I'm struggling a little bit. We I think I talked about last month, we had a horrible hailstorm, softball, I guess. I didn't realize, but softball size hail is what the insurance ended up saying, that it was determined that the hail that hit our house was softball sized hail. I mean, not all of it, but there were, pieces that were that big. And of course, we need a new roof, and the barn needs a new roof, but our house it looks like stucco, but it is actually EIFS, which is manufactured stucco and made with concrete. And it has that kind of stucco look to it. And the hail just pretty much just knocked big chunks off and went all the way down. There's kind of a wire mesh underneath, and it went all the way down to the wire mesh. And so it has to be redone on at least two sides and part of a third side. And so the guys came out on Friday. We were supposed to get rain, and so they came out on Friday and covered all of our windows on the front side of the house and the front door, all of the windows, and which included the front sitting room where I normally do this, and the kitchen, and we have big windows down there, and it is really so that now the dogs can't see outside at all, and nor can they use the front door to go outside, and it's really throwing them for a loop. It's throwing me for a loop too. For about the first day and a half, I felt really claustrophobic. I finally then they weren't able to do any work on. They were going to come out Saturday and get started on the actual repairs. And it rained off and on, and so they weren't able to come out. And so I finally went out Saturday afternoon when I realized they weren't, and I lifted some of the plastic and tape up on one window so we can at least peek outside and I can see if anybody's pulling into the driveway. We live out in the country, and it's just very disconcerting to not be able to see out the front of your house and see if there's someone here, if the mail person is here or whatever. So anyway, that's part of her. She's super uncomfortable because she can't see out front, and she thinks she hears noises out there, but she can't see. And so, anyway, I don't know how to insert pictures on this. And so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to insert any pictures to show you what this looks like, but this is called, oh goodness gracious. It's by Sara Guermani, and it's called, I don't think it's called Merry Christmas, but it might be, but it's kind of a, oh goodness, it's kind of now I'm getting a urgent text from my husband who's at basketball practice. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, my family's sending over, I'm sure you're all getting the same thing, what's going on in our current political world here in the United States. Yeah, that's a big thing. I'm not going to talk about it, but yeah, that's that kind of threw me. Sorry. That nobody's hurt. Nobody's injured this time. Okay, so sorry. Of all videos that I can't edit to get that text. Now my family's gonna be going back and forth. I'll turn all my devices off so I'm not getting texts. Anyway, okay, so back to square one. This is a Sara Guermani piece, and I think it's called Merry Christmas or Christmas. It's not called Christmas in the City, but it's, here, let me show it to you. And I'm sorry, that lighting is just terrible. And so what it is it is a scene with all different houses and I think churches and barns and kind of more of a country scene. But there's also, or maybe like small town, scene, and there's, in between the homes, or the buildings, this is a house here, but in between the buildings, there are, in this case, a little moose, mama moose and her baby, and a little girl, and there's people carrying presents, and I think there might be a sleigh here or there, what have you, but really beautiful, mostly done, very few colors, mostly done in different shades of sort of not a really deep red, but corals and deep pinks, I guess you would say, and kind of rose colored, and with some nice, pure white. I think it's the white is B5200, and it just looks it looks really great. It's just, anyway, I saw this. I was watching a new to me FlossTube person, and I do not remember her name. I know a lot of you follow her because I heard about her from some of you. And she was working on it, and I just thought, wow, yeah, that's one that I need to do. I have several Sara Guermani charts in my chart stash, not started, not kitted. I think I only have one that's started and kitted, and it's a huge scene, Christmas scene. But this one, it's not huge. I mean, it's good sized, but it's just a really, really beautiful piece. And I was having fun. That's really kind of what I've been working on for Jolly July. I think I have one other piece in here. Actually, I bet I didn't bring it up. I have one other piece that I've been working pretty heavily on. But I don't think I brought it up. Okay, luckily this one is a paper pattern. This is Blue Rhapsody by Rosewood Manor. And first time I saw this, it might have been like Carolyn at Caesar Stitch may have shown this. But I love blue, and I had to do that. Everything is the called for. So this is being stitched on 32 count white, antique white Belfast linen. And I started this on March the 15th, and I've worked on it, I think, it should tell me here, I worked on it 2 days in March, and then I worked on it 2 days here in July. And it's being stitched with 2 different blues, one navy, both Weeks Dye Works, one navy blue and one sky blue. And they're just beautiful. I just love blue. And so here is my, really decent start to it. The butterfly is done, except for there are a few stitches of sky blue that need to be added to it. And then I was able to go ahead and come down here and start the letters. So so the letters are down here, and then it's a really beautiful piece. I really love it. Really, really beautiful. So, yeah, my lighting isn't great. That blue it shows up. It's a soft, it's not like in your face blue, but it's a soft, beautiful, yeah, really lovely. So, okay, so that is that. I apologize, you guys. I kind of really got thrown by that news. It's really not that big of a surprise, but it's just, by the time you're watching this, everybody will know. But it's just, that kind of threw me, even though it's not a stroke. Okay. I am a member of Teresa Kogut's Patreon, and she just, wow, I mean, it's almost overwhelming. One really beautiful chart after another. And I cannot show you this because it's Patreon and it's the PDF. But it is called I believe it's called 1847 House. And so let's see, what can I put behind it? I guess this will work. So here's my really good start. I started this yesterday and worked on it until late last night, and then I couldn't sleep. So yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. I usually am not able to cross stitch late, but I think I worked on this until 11 or after 11 o'clock. And I didn't have it's all DMC, and I didn't have a couple of the DMC, so I sort of changed a few things out. I did not have the house. Oh, I had just a little tiny bit of the DMC that it was called for in the house, and so I combined it with a Gloriana. I think it's called Mango. Is that right? Yeah, so this is one strand of DMC, one strand of Mango. Mango's pretty bright yellow, and that it was more of a, I think a 729 or something, but more of a gold. And so that gold really brought down that brightness, and that's pretty true to how it looks. And so all I have to do, so now the border is, it's this border, and there's 2 rows of this black, which I'm not, it did call for 310, and I'm using also, again, a Gloriana black that's not quite as stark. And then it has pennies all the way around, two color pennies that are in the same color that the cat stitched in, and then the house. And it's just really beautiful. It's not very big. It's just a really beautiful piece. I'm going to change the date and then add some initials, and yeah. So I really love that. That's been a lot of fun to stitch. And I'm stitching this on a piece of Cedar River linen. It might be maple syrup, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure that's the color. Okay, and then I had another new start, and somewhere here I have my book where I keep all my stuff. I always buy the punch needle and primitive stitcher. I don't have a subscription, but I always buy it. And then I look through it and I mark usually what I want to do, stitch or punch in it. And then a lot of times I'll forget about it. But I happen to see this, and this is from last year, right? Or is this just from spring? No, this is from spring 2022. So this is quite old. And I thought, oh, I wonder if did I stitch anything from in here? Is there anything I want to do? And I was actually thinking maybe I wanted to start a punch needle from out of here. But I found this chart that I just absolutely fell in love with. And it is by, let's see if I can find you the picture. It's by Twin Peak Primitives. No, I'm sorry, it's by Sub Rosa. I think I wrote that wrong in my book of days. And it's called Spring Garden. And this is what it looks like. Gosh, that lighting is so bad. It's a soft palette, but it's not, this is really dulling it down. And it's just a simple, and the border's, got some teeth in it. But other than that, it's just a simple, really beautiful, really, really beautiful. And so I didn't have a lot of the called for, as usual, and didn't really want to run and get DMC. And so I sort of substituted, using what I had, and then sort of substituted I don't want to lose my needle here. But I got a good start on it. And again, I substituted with quite a few Glorianas. Rather than the called for DMC. In fact, the flowers up here in the border is a Gloriana. And then her dress, I think, is so pretty. And yeah, there's my really, really decent start on Spring Garden. And I'm doing this on a piece of blue. I don't know what it is. Do I have it here? Oh, I may have written it down. I did. Nope, that's for a different project. Nope, I did not write it down. I have 2 projects in here, and I have the wrong project in there. I'm not sure what the deal is on that. Okay, I was again watching. Who was I watching? Am I going to be able to remember? Okay, I think this is right, but again, I could be off base. I believe they're called Vino Stitchers. It's a mother-daughter team. Beautiful stitching. I know they live East Coast, like Pennsylvania, I want to say. And, I think that's who I'm pretty sure. And the daughter couldn't be at the last time that the mom did a video. The daughter couldn't be there. I don't remember their names. But she showed this, and I've looked at this many, many times, and I've never done a Glendon place. I have a couple of their charts. I've never done a Glendon place. And I really, I've always wanted to, and I've seen several that I really like, but I've been kind of intimidated by them. Anyway, let me just show you. So it's the pirate ship. It doesn't have a name. It's called GP277. but it's the pirate ship. I was able to get all the called for, the chart, and all the buttons, except for this I the moon and the water is done with Rainbow Gallery, and 123 Stitch was missing some of the Rainbow Gallery, and so I'm missing that. But I was able to even get the and let me tell you what that is, the fabric that the piece called for. And so that is a piece of it's called Bang, and it's by Crosswing Collection. It's a piece of hand painted specialty fabric. And so I got started on it like the day it came, and I was having a hard time putting it down. I worked on it for several days. And here is my progress. And then I picked it up the other day, and I was having too many interruptions, and it takes, oh my goodness, the lighting in here. Well, first of all, this fabric is phenomenal. It's very easy to stitch on. But isn't that beautiful fabric? And so what this is just so difficult to show you. It's a huge piece. I think the fabric is 28 count. So it's just a giant piece. And there is one of the masts of the ship and the beginning part of the sail down there at the bottom, and then the moon. And I don't have the inside of the moon there. I don't have that Rainbow Gallery. It's on back order from 123 Stitch. But I've done needlepoint with Rainbow Gallery. Oh, is it Rainbow Gallery? Yeah, Rainbow Gallery. It's silk lame braid is what it is. And it's so pretty. It's so shiny and beautiful. And I've done needlepoint with this, and I love it. But I've never done any cross stitch with it, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm excited and anxious to get the color that I need for the inside of the moon. And then the water, all these blues and greens are what you use on the water. And aren't those so pretty? Oh, I just love it. Okay, well, there's one more thing I'll show you, and I'm contemplating. I worked on this a little bit yesterday. I showed you this back in the spring. This is, let's see, it's like Spooky Town, or, yeah, I think it's called Welcome to Spooky Town. No, Welcome to Spooky Hollow. And it is a series of houses and creatures, or, Halloween related, like Frankenstein and ghosts and mummies and all of that kind of thing, but done not in a scary style, done in a cute, sweet style. And it's a lot of different really, fun buildings, like, different parlors and whatever. And, I love it. I love it. It's so pretty. And I wanted to do it all as one piece. And I'm using a piece of Cedar River. I forget what this is called, but it's giant. That's folded in half. So it's this giant piece. But I got it. I had a hankering to work on it, and I got it out to work on it the other day. And I'm so sorry about the dog. And, it is just, it is intense. Like, the house is just so intense. And I just don't know. I'm not going to abandon it. I'm not going to quit doing it, but I might put it away because I have so many, I have Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow that I've had for forever that I really, really, really want to get done. And so I may put this aside. It's in a great project bag. Look at how fun that is for Halloween. I may put it aside and try something, and pull out Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, or pull out one of my other, I have a lot of Halloween, and, pull one of those out and work on those. I have a couple of, cross-eyed cricket and, I can't think, drawn thread Halloween that I just love, that were some of my first pieces that I bought when I came back to cross stitch. And at the time, they were too, they were kind of beyond my capabilities. But I would like to pull those out now and work on those and maybe get those done. So that's a possibility. So as far as plans go, I am probably going to finish up the Teresa Kogut piece, the 1847 home or house, because that's so close, and and I'm enjoying working on it, and I'm not sick of it. And so I'm probably going to get that done and try to get that FFO'd. Oh, I have. Let me grab this. I also finished my letter C with Tiny Modernist. ABCs, I forget what they're called, something alphabet, something fun time alphabet or whatever. But so I finished letter C, didn't get it FFO'd, and got a decent start on D, which has a green dragon on it, which is really, really cute. This cow, I had the hardest time. I frogged and then I restitched and I still had a problem, and it's not quite where it's supposed to be, and I had to kind of change the corn stalks. This is so perfect for Nebraska because we have a ton of corn growing everywhere and a lot of cows, and so I just love this. My daughter has a little orange tabby that looks kind of like that kitty, so that was kind of fun. But these are they're so much fun to do, and they go really quickly, unless you can't count and you mess up the cow. They go really quickly, and they're just a lot of fun. And so I'll continue to work on letter D, and maybe get Teresa Kogut 1847 done, and then ABC, and then I would also like to continue working on the pirate ship. And I don't know, I was sort of thinking that I would do a spooky August, and I kind of thought about that. I did get all of my bees and sunflowers out, and so downstairs I'm all decorated for bees and sunflowers, and so that's kind of fun. But I don't think I'm gonna. And I have a lot of bee and sunflower charts, but I don't think I'm gonna do any of those this year. I'm not in the mood for it. But yeah, but we're going on vacation, so there just won't be a lot of stitching for most of August. So what I'm going to do is, I think we'll be back on the 15th, and so what I'll do is try to get home and get past my jet lag and all of that good stuff, and then I'll try to see. I might devise a plan for the rest of the year. I know I thought I brought up my, oh, I did bring up my, my little book. So there's my July, and the way I'm doing this is like events, regular events not related to stitching. And then, there's another section, another calendar section where each day has, a long column that you can write things, and so that's where I'm writing my what I stitch and what I work on. And I think that I have managed to stitch every day so far in July. I have. Yes, I have managed to stitch every day in July, and so that's great. August will be a whole different story, but I would like an end of year plan. I know I have several gifts that need to be made. I know that I have ornaments that need to be made. I have a lot. And so I need to decide, if I want to work on those, if I want to work on Christmas, if I want to just focus on Halloween between August and October, and then do ornaments starting in October. I don't know. That'll probably stress me out. Maybe I won't do ornaments this year. I don't know. So what I'm kind of thinking is that I'll decide that while we're on vacation, and I can kind of take a step back from cross stitch, and then maybe I'll come up with some great plan and I'll actually stick to it, or maybe I'll just stitch what I want when I want, because that seems to be the direction that I go. I love watching Carolyn Zook, and I try to watch her every week, as she usually films on Sundays, and she's such a great planner, and I love that. I love the idea behind planning and knowing what you're going to work on. And she's even like talking 2027 plans. And I love that, but I just know that I won't stick to things because I'll see other things. I don't know if you can see. Let's see if I can show you. There's two. I stacked these here so I could put my my whips on them, but I have two bins that are filled with charts that haven't been kitted or started. And so I really would like for the rest of the year, and it's fine to start new things. I'm fine with that, but I would like, and I went through these and got rid of just a few, but there's none that I don't want to stitch. And so, other than just those few, I found some duplicates more than anything. So, what I want to do is when I have a hankering to have a new start, I would like to come up here and go through here and start something from here instead of seeing something fun online and going and buying a chart, because I really don't need any new charts. Because you know what, I bought these and I want to stitch these, and there's no way I'll ever stitch all of them. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So anyway, okay, that's it, guys. I'm going to try to get this uploaded. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I may once again be just talking to myself here. I hope you're well. I hope you're staying cool if you live, here in the United States or North America or the UK. I hope you're staying warm if you live in Australia and New Zealand, because I hear it's quite chilly down there. I'm kind of jealous. I'm ready for fall. I've been ready for fall since June 1st. So, yeah, I'm ready for fall. But yeah, so, and it really hasn't been that bad here, but I just love fall. So, that's it. Hopefully when I come back, I'll be able to upload some pictures of our trip and fun stuff and tell you about all the fun stuff and people and all of that good stuff. But, take care for now, and we'll hopefully talk to you soon. Bye, guys.